2026 is going to be the year we get our shit together. If you've watched me before, if you've watched any of my other videos, if you know anything about me, the first thing that you should know is that I am a master organizer. I am a master goal setter. I am a master planification of my life. And if there's something I can provide and give you in this video, is the exact framework to getting your shit together and actually accomplishing that. I will be linking down below a Notion template that I have for reframing your 2026, for setting up your goals, and to actually reach those and be able to have a timeline where you know when every single thing will happen. I'm not really a spiritual person. I think manifestation, yes, to a certain extent, it takes you to do all the work. It also takes believing in yourself and having people around you also believe that this is possible. This is what I want for you. This is what I want for you to achieve, and this is what I want for myself too for this year. This year, a lot of things are going to change. We're moving continents by the end of the year. I don't want to say anything right now because it's still in the process, but we're moving to the other side of the world by the end of the year. We're going to be shifting our career, and we're going to be changing completely how we handle everything, whether it comes to anxiety, whether it comes to our relationships, whether it comes to our friendships, whether it comes to how we handle and see money, and how we handle and we see our own hobbies and our interests, just everything in general. If there's one thing that you should be taking from this episode, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that anything can happen, and you truly don't visualize that, and you cannot visualize it, and you don't know what that actually looks like if you close your eyes and you think about it, this video will be useless for you. This video is for people that generally believe that anything can be possible if they put their mind to it. I've always been a person that somehow, some way, I've always believed that everything will work out for me, especially when it comes to traveling and when it comes to moving abroad. I've never doubted it once that if I want something, I'll get it. Was it hard? Did I have to work my ass off to be able to make that happen? Did I have to look at logistics? Did I have to apply to things? Did I have to go crazy at night applying for jobs and looking at how the fuck do I even get an apartment, and how do I sign a lease, and how much money do I need, and oh my god, the deposit? Like, everything will work out if you truly put your mind to something. And I believe that I will be fine, and you will be fine, and everyone will achieve anything that they do as long as you have the right mindset. Now, when it comes to goals, let's be serious here. You can't set 20 goals for the year. I'm a hard believer that everything will come at the divine time. Knowing what is sacred to prioritize this year, to then move on to the next year for the bigger picture. Because we shouldn't be thinking bigger picture right now. And I know this is a little bit contradicting, because I'm telling you at the beginning of this episode that you will be reach those higher goals and those higher dreams that you want. But what I'm telling you right now is, to be able to achieve those high goal dreams, you need to be able to achieve those small habits that will lead you to that big goal. So we're going to be separating this year's goals into 5. With timelines. The first 3 months of this year, I want you to look and prioritize what needs to be done to be able to set myself up for the second part of the year, in the second area. So for example, when it comes to money and finances, I need to be able by February or March to be able to be literate and, my finances. Maybe set up a strategy for them for the rest of the year. What do I want to do? Do I want to shift my career? Okay, do I want to stay in the same industry? Do I want to switch jobs? Do I want to do maybe a side hustle on the side? Like, I don't want to shift my career, but I want to expand it. Okay, how do I do that? So for January, February, March, we're going to be looking at strategies for the rest of the year. You can't just sit here and tomorrow tell me, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. That does not work. So what you're going to do is you're going to be doing a month of research where you're going to set your hours for the week to be able to do that. And how are you going to hold yourself accountable for that? You're going to write it down. I know this sounds so silly, but if I didn't write it down in my Notion, and I swear this looks like a Notion ad, but I'm not. I wish, I could work with them, but it really is not. It's just the way that I work. You can also do it on paper. I also have a journal, but sometimes if I really want to manifest into something happening, I write it down in my journal 1,000 times, and then I write it down in my Notion as well. But having a timeline on Notion, and again, you can be using my template down below to be able to follow through this video. How many hours a week do you want to put this into? And when can you actually during the week put yourself into? Maybe that's actually sacrificing of small moments in your Sundays. I've always treated Sundays as reset days for me. Now, what does that mean? That means obviously mental wise, that means maybe a hobby of mine, that means something that I'm currently working on in the long term that needs to have its precious time with a coffee next to me, maybe at the beach, maybe at a cafe. Like, I just need to sit down and prioritize that for a couple hours that I can't give it during the week, because I need to be healthy. I need to be doing things for myself apart from my 9 to 5 during the week. You also need to be able to prioritize your health, because you're going to burn out if that's not a priority. And take it from someone that made that mistake before. And my therapist was the first one to look at me and tell me, Lucia, you are crazy. You obviously will not be able to achieve those lifelong goals and dreams of yours if you're just going to burn yourself out in 2 weeks, because you're not taking care of yourself. You're not going running during the week. You're not reading during the week. You're not taking time to go on walks by yourself. You're not taking time to spend time with your loved ones during the week. You're just pulling every second and minute that you have available for free time into your work and your extra work, and you're obviously going to burn out. Knowing that there are certain timelines for everything every single week will obviously help you manage everything at once. Now, example, reading. Okay, reading goal. Don't base it off of books. Don't base it off of how many books I want to read in the year. Don't base it off of, what do I want to get out of reading? Because that, at the end of the day, that's going to push you. Do I want reading for enjoyment, entertainment? Do I want to read for learning? Do I want to read for self-improvement? Like, make those little goals of what the frick is the point of this in the first place, Example. Another goal of mine, listen to podcasts more. I've actually done pretty well at this, and this is because I've set a routine, but not even a routine. I would say I would set up a ritual. The biggest thing that you can do for goal setting is thinking of it as like a ritual. Think of them as, this is your ritual. This is something that will enrich you. When I think of podcasts, when I think of reading, I think I just want to become a more intellectually smarter person. I want to be a person that is really interesting to talk to. I want to be a person that has a lot of ideas and has a lot of things to say. I want to be able to have points. I want to be able to know what the frick I'm talking about. I want to learn new things. I think the most amazing quality a person can have is intellectually smart capabilities. A person that you can talk to, you can debate to, a person that has a lot to say. If you have a lot to say and it's based on your own opinion and your own research and you've taken the time to learn about it, I think it's just like the most amazing quality and the most amazing asset that you can give to yourself, I would say. So that was the whole purpose of me listening to podcasts and me reading more, and I made sure that there was a purpose to everything that I was doing, so I would feel more entitled to do it. And also I created a ritual out of it. Every single morning when I would walk to work, because I also wanted to walk more this year, and I truly did. I did a lot. I reached like minimum 15k steps every single day, and in London I was reaching like 20k every single day because I would walk everywhere and I wouldn't want to take the tube. So I was not only saving money by walking, but I was also being really healthy, and I was taking the time to go on walks to listen to podcasts. So I would go to work listening to a podcast where I would be learning something new, and I would get to work and I feel like I've already done so many productive things this morning. I've gotten ready, I've had my coffee, I've walked to work, I have listened to a podcast. I'm such an accomplished person. The brain will think, I have done so much, I'm such an accomplished person, why would anything bring me down? The most beautiful thing that you can do, the most amazing quality that you can develop is learning how to trick your brain. And I'm very serious. I was listening to this podcast the other day, actually, where it was talking about how it's so important to trick your brain into believing that you're always right. And it's going to sound a little bit controversial because obviously you need to be able to listen to other people's opinions and you need to be able to, learn from other people and not be selfish and think that you're always right. And that's just not a good person to even have a conversation with. But trick your brain into thinking that you are the best. You are so hardworking, so then you become hardworking. You do all these small little habits that tell your brain, you have done so much. You have walked, for example, there was a very good example that they use of, you have ran for an hour today. You are a sporty person. So then what will your brain tell you? Oh, I want to do more sporty things, because now you're a sporty person because you've ran for an hour every single day, Maybe I ran the shittiest hour of my life. Actually, I was probably walking half of that hour, but my brain has thought you have ran every single day for 2 weeks. That means that you're a sporty person. So now you characterize yourself to your brain that you're a sporty person. So you will want to do more sporty things. You would want to keep that going. You would want to build that image of yourself. We have a brand of ourselves in our head. I don't know if anybody has ever noticed that we do have a way of how we see ourselves. You maybe when you tell someone, oh, I don't think I'm smart. Oh, I don't think I'm athletic. Oh, I don't think I'm flexible. Or I don't think I'm, anything else. It's the brand that you've built of yourself to yourself. So you're so capable of changing the way that you view yourself through that. That means that and if you trick your brain into thinking that this is your brand, like your brand is you're a sporty person, you're a massive reader, you're a massive journaler. Sometimes, and I will say, I journal just because I think, oh my God, I've branded myself as a person that journals a lot. I should probably be journaling. Learning how to trick your brain. It's such a massive, massive skill set that nobody really thinks about. But give yourself time and grace, because you can't build Rome in a day. And I'm saying this because my grandma literally just told me this, but it's true. You can't build Rome in a day. You can't decide I'm going to be a freelancer and then start doing freelance tomorrow and think you're going to make money as of like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon. Today's Tuesday. You can't say, oh, I'm going to become super sporty and I'm going to go to the gym every single day. And then suddenly like it's Friday and you haven't gone in like 2 days. That doesn't mean that you're not a sporty person. I mean, you're still a sporty person. You went Monday and Tuesday. Now, you didn't go Wednesday and Thursday, but you're going to go on Saturday, and maybe you're going to go on a run on Sunday. You need to switch that brain of stopping it for a while or not doing it every single day is not meaning that you're not that person or that you haven't accomplished the goal and you should give up. It's that mindset of long-term, I am that. I am that because I have set certain amount of hours that I want to accomplish this within the week that works within my schedule, that doesn't overwhelm me. Visualizing. I know this is very typical and it's probably one of the most basic things that I could have ever said in this video, but obviously visualizing Pinterest. But I'm not talking about just making a Pinterest board and calling it a day. It's something that I've done for the past 2 years and has really, really helped me. And to the end of every single year, I've looked back and I'm like, oh my God, everything happened that I needed to happen and that I put in there is put it on your journal. I like to put it in my journal because I don't like to have like a vision board, because it's just like, I don't want to have that in my room. I don't know why. Like and I open my journal daily. So for me, it works, but you can also have a vision board. But print out the main pictures, like just one picture for every goal, maybe 2 for every goal, and write down next to the picture what exactly are the steps to get there. So for example, career change. Okay. January to February, I'm doing my research, I'm building my website. February to April, I'm reaching out to clients, I'm getting my first clients, I'm trial and error at this time. I'm going to be traveling to this many places, or I'm going to be doing this 2 trips this year. Put pictures of the 2 places, put pictures of when you're going to be doing that already, and it's something that I've already done. Already look at prices. When is it cheap? Relatively, like within that year to go to this country. When am I going to start buying that? Maybe next month I'll buy the flight, and then everything else I'll figure out later. Little goals of like, okay, this is how much money we're putting aside every single month for travel. This is how much money we're putting aside every single month for long-term savings. And put it next to pictures. If it has to be a picture of a dollar sign, you will put a friggin' picture of a dollar sign. But visualize it. Know when is it going to happen. Know how it's going to happen. Know how it's going to look like. And this is how you manifest your future. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I will be linking the Notion template down below. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm so sorry about last week, no video. It was a very, very weird week for me. I was also traveling in Budapest, so it was very intense. So any ideas and any suggestions and anything else that you guys want me to cover, please comment down below. And yeah, have an awesome day. Thank you so much, and let's get our shit together.